Hi guys, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy. This time I am doing another Top 5 Wednesday, which were created by Lainey at Ginger Reads Lainey, and I put the links to both her channel and the Goodreads group in the description below if you want to check them out. This week's topic is our top 5 worst love interests, either male or female. So these are the people that really have no business being in a relationship, I think. So that's how I interpreted it. I picked 5 people that have actually been in relationships. There's a few suitors out there where they never quite get the girl or the guy and was like, that was fine. We're gonna leave you guys with that. So this is people who were together but maybe shouldn't have been. At least that's how I interpreted this question. And this video is pretty much going to contain spoilers. So if you guys don't want to know what's happening in these books, I will post what books I'm using down in the description. So if you want to just look through the list and find out what books they are, then you know whether or not you want to watch this video, I guess. That's probably the best way to do this. But this will contain spoilers about these relationships. Otherwise, I can't properly explain why they're so awful. So, FYI on that. So, at number 5 is a book that I haven't actually finished reading. I gave up on, mainly because of this relationship, and that is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. And Heathcliff and Catherine just should not have been together in any way, shape, or form. They're manipulative and they use each other, and I think Heathcliff gets married to somebody else. I honestly didn't finish this book. Couldn't stand the two of them. So yeah. But apparently I started reading it because I got a bookmark in here. So yay for trying to read Wuthering Heights. Okay, at number 4, I have George Wickham from Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. George is just doesn't give up. I will give you that. He is very persistent. Before the book even starts, he has a relationship with Georgiana Darcy where he convinces her to run off with him and get married so that he can have part of the Darcy wealth. But luckily, older brother Darcy finds out and stops this. Then he shows up in the book later on with Elizabeth Bennet. Their relationship actually isn't quite so bad. I feel like that would have been the best relationship for him. Not for Lizzie, but like for George, Elizabeth might have been his best match. But he has a wandering eye and ends up dating her sister Lydia, and he convinces Lydia to run off with him and doesn't do the right thing until he's caught by Darcy again and paid off to marry Lydia. So, kind of like, dude, just chill, pick a girl and stick with her. And maybe actually treat her right and don't just marry her for money. Anyway, I'm not. George is appealing, but he's not actually a good boyfriend, husband material. At number 3, I have Daisy Buchanan from The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Come on, girl, you're married. Why are you running around with other guys? Tell Gatsby you're married and end it, and let him get on with his life and find somebody else, instead of just having him hanging on. I didn't really like Daisy. I didn't find her that appealing. No. Alright, at number 2, I have Prince Humperdinck from The Princess Bride by William Goldman. Humperdinck gets engaged to Buttercup because she's the most gorgeous woman in the land, and he's the prince, and obviously he should marry the most gorgeous woman in the land. And Buttercup agrees to marry him because her heart's broken and she's never going to love it again, so she might as well marry the prince. And I am okay with that part of their relationship. It happens, okay. But then Humperdinck sets up this whole thing where Buttercup gets kidnapped, she's going to be murdered, and he wants to use her death for starting a war with the neighboring country of Gilder, and that is not okay. That is not how you treat a woman. When that plan fails, he sets another plan in motion to murder her himself. So no, Humperdinck is not a good love interest. Just isn't. Poor Buttercup. And my number 1 worst love interest is Lavanna from the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. In Fairest, I think we probably see her at her worst in Fairest because she has this friendship going on with one of the guards, Everett, and he's nice to her. Like, he tries really hard to be her friend, and she destroys him completely. It's awful. She uh, uses a glamour to make him fall in love with her, where he's not really falling in love. It's just Lavanna planting the idea in his head. She kills his first wife, is really awful to his stepdaughter, Winter. She does not treat Everett well. And then within the rest of the Lunar Chronicles, she's going after Kai and trying to get him to marry her for a political alliance, but she's using coercion and the glamour thing again, and basically blackmailing him into marrying her so that he can get the antidote to the Letimosis plague that is killing all of Earth. So it's a plague that she started herself, too. Pretty much everything that we find out about Lavanna is pretty much awful. So that includes her love life. There are my top 5 worst love interests. Obviously, I'm not really enthusiastic about any of these because this isn't really a favorite list. Yeah, top 5. There are my top 5 worst love interests. Let me know in the comments below what are the worst love interests in books that you've come across. Are any of these not that bad? What did I miss? Peace out. I love you guys and keep reading. Bye.